Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this ibml webinar. My name is Pravesh Jagu and I'm a Senior Solutions Engineer at ibml. Today, I will be talking about and showing you how ibml can help digitize your mailroom operations. Well, over the past weeks, we have been approached by many organizations asking for ways to get work to the employees who are currently working from home. Many line of business applications are already web-based and even accessible via the cloud. The only area that was manual and left behind was the mailroom. The kind of solution organizations are looking for should be multi-channel input friendly. You should be able to classify documents based on the contents. Data extraction, be it text, table entries, or even at the database level should be there. One should be able to compare the results of your extraction against known sources, for example, database or the web. You should be able to validate such data against known business rules. And at the same time, any machine learning capabilities will be of a definite value add. Such application should be accessible via all known browsers. It should be database driven. All work steps should be very clearly visible. Access to such environments should also be very safe and secure, and it should at the same time offer integration capabilities via RESTful APIs. The product should not be complex to implement. It should be configuration versus customization oriented. Any routine maintenance on such application should also not be that heavy. To meet production peaks, it should be able to scale up processing capabilities on demand, and at the same time, the application should come at a very attractive price point. IBML does have a product that can exceed actually those requirements, and it is called Synergetics. Let's now have a look at its capabilities, and to demonstrate that, I will now introduce a new tool to your mailroom, and this can become a very powerful enabler to your digital mailroom project. As next, now let me connect to the tool and we can take it from there. The tool is actually a document scanner, which I'm going to attach to the Synergetics web application. What you can see from the screen on the bottom left corner is actually the document scanner. It is an IBML document scanner, which I am now scanning the correspondences, which is actually made up of envelopes and contents. So I'm outsorting all the envelopes into one pocket, and I'm using them as separator sheets instead of any barcode or any other patch code. And thus I can actually keep the transactions together, but at the same time outsort all the envelopes. You can see here each envelope with the content. And once I'm done, I can close the batch and it will now be ready to be actually imported into Synergetics. Okay, I have now scanned my batch and I can have a look at where it is sitting. Should be here, Mailroom, and this is the scan date, and these are the images. So the next step would be to go on Synergetics and to see how we can process these images. Now I would access the application from here or from the batch admin, and then I can go as a user to upload a batch. So here I'm on the system. This is one way to upload images and to let the system generate the batch automatically. Another would be to actually do a handshake between the scanner and the application. So we transfer the images and the data that came together with the scanning process directly onto the system. Or we can also open your email and take the attachment and bring it into this application, and it will do the same. So as I mentioned earlier, it is multi-channel. There are different ways of actually importing images onto the system. So here I will show you very simple how we are going to go about it. So I have the images here. I select everything basically. Then drag and drop everything. And once I'm done, I just start a batch. So the batch number you can see has been queued. And if I go to the batch management, which is basically an admin view of all the batches, I have a batch in error. Well, I was trying something. But here I should be able to see the batch. So here the batch has arrived. And it is going to process the images. So this is happening. Everything is happening live. It is running. You can see. The status changes. It is now ready for validation. So let's go now onto the batch. Let's open the batch and see what is actually what has been done and what need to be done. So it is a status in ready for validation. Okay. These were the letters. The envelope has been discarded, so there is no image of an envelope. We just use it as a separator. And at the same time, we now have the name of that person to which it has been addressed, the surname, and the email address. And it goes on like this. So what I can do is I can automate this process to validate everything. And where did I get the email address? Well, basically, I just took the email addresses from the organization and I put it onto the database. Here I have a table and I have the name, surname, and the email address. So every piece of a document or image that goes through the Synergetics application will get OCR'd, and the OCR results, based on the rules that I have defined, is going to be used for a lookup to retrieve the email address. So why am I doing it? Well, guess what? This is exactly where any organization who wants to digitize its mailroom will most probably start with. This is also the most easiest way to digitize your mailroom. So everything that comes through, you take your email addresses and you match it and you retrieve and you send it by email. So you will be sending the PDF as an output to this person via the email address. Now, I'm going to start validating everything, and if there is any issue, it will show up. For example, here, you can see that the list, so there had been a problem with the data purification, and if I remove this, then I should be able to validate this record, and then like this, move to the next, to the next, to the next, until I reach the last. But all of this can be automated. Now, this is done. And if I go back to the batch, I should see a status change, which is ready. And after ready, it has finished. So what has happened really? Let's look at the output. So if I go C, Synergetics, this is the shared folder, and we have something called the final drop folder. So in the final drop folder, 16, 30, 30, 31, you can see there are two folders. This is the last one. And you can see here all the documents, all the images individually. And here, if I go one step back, here I have the batch XML. which is basically to tell the system to which email account to send this email to or this PDF to. That's simple. That's it. Well, Synergetics can definitely do better than just extracting email addresses. In the next demo, we are going to take a deeper look at those capabilities. So let's start a batch. Here we have a series of batches, and I will take one of them. You can see images. It's called the banking demo. I'm going to make a copy, and I'm going to drop it into what we call a drop folder, which is a hot folder for Synergetics. Here you can see the other jobs. Now is the banking demo. I will just paste the batch, and I will then close the batch, close the folder, sorry. The system will automatically pick the batch and start running with it. So here on the batch instance management, I can do a refresh and I can see there's a new batch which has been imported, and the system will automatically pick the stuff. Here on the right hand side you can see other configurations, for example the batch upload, the web scanner, which is also possible to scan using a web scanner, the job management where all the configuration are done. We go back to the batch now and have a look at what's happening. So it will take some time because there are a couple of images and there's a lots of workflow steps. Now we can see it is ready for review. As I mentioned, it can be ready for validation or ready for review. So now this batch is actually in a state of review and we can see the images. So this is the banking demo. So definitely there will be banking documents. There's a check, sell foreign currency document, outgoing foreign currency remittance. You know, it's typical demo documents for it is actual documents really for banks due to vault transfer. And then there's this document which basically there was one check which is different, so the system could confirm that it was a check, but it knows, you can see from the document type it is saying check because I have put a higher confidence score, so it is stopping it there. I will hit the review to confirm, and it will go to the next step of the workflow, which is the extraction of the data. So I go back to the batch, and this is the configuration of the job. So you can see it is purely configuration. There's a very or almost no custom codes here. It is just configuration. This is the workflow steps that is going to happen. So as you can see, after review, there will be extraction of data, and after data extraction, there will be validation. So I go back to the batch and I see it is ready for validation. It means that there are some rules which are preventing it to go through. So I will now open the batch. And here we go. Now we have a check. This is a front check. So front check usually have a CMC7 line. Here with the OCR engine, which is RecoStar, we are reading this. Wow, it's challenging, but we can very successfully read the value. And next, then we will actually confirm and move to the next one, which is the sell foreign currency. You can see the data here, which was, and you can see on the left, on the right, sorry, on the image where it has been extracted from. And if I want to delete and re-extract, it is just a matter of clicking onto the image and the system will automatically take a print of the text onto the image. I'm happy with this. I continue. I validate the next one. It follows like this. Now here you can see on the right hand side there's a table. So it is not just OCR, it is also table extraction, and one of the very strong capabilities of this application is also table extraction. So what I would be doing is clicking on the table, and you can see all the line items has been extracted. So I can put rules. I can configure rules for subtotals, totals, and any other formulas, mathematical formulas, to actually do whatever needs to be done on such kind of on this kind of a situation. Okay. Now once I'm done with this, basically, well, that was my mistake. You can see, so if you have rules, it will correct, and then it will move further. Now here, this is very interesting, handprint recognition. So this is my bad handwriting, but still you can see the recognition rate. It is pretty good. This is requester handprint recognition, so it is all inclusive into the product. And I am reading all these values, and it is very accurate. So once I'm done, I validate and I move further. Here I have nothing. I continue. Again, a check, a CMC7 line. I will just continue with the other forms. And all the extracted data will be saved onto the database. Now I'm done. And basically, that's it, apart from the fact that you also have integration capability. You can see on the right hand side all the other functions which I went through earlier. The batch management with all the additional information that's available. The job management where all the jobs are defined. It is a repository, and from there you double click and you will go deeper into the configuration. And all the workflow steps. So these are all the documents and the specific configuration per document type. If you're doing database extraction, if you're doing machine learning, all this configuration will have to be entered here. Same for the extraction rules. You're doing table extraction, fuzzy DB. So it's very rich in terms of functionalities. Now back to the presentation. Here's a broader picture of all the capabilities and the steps. There's also reporting facility, all included. And I have also answered most of the frequently asked questions about this application, which you can always refer to. Well, with that, I would say thank you very much for your attention. If you have questions, do visit our website and click on the Consult Expert button to reach us. Thank you. Bye bye.